right, in this episode, I wanted to share one of my favorite strategies for hitting high notes. Well, hey there, it's Crystal Diaz here, back with another quick singing tip for you. Last episode, I talked about 5 reasons why you may be struggling right now to hit your high notes. So if you want to check that out, be sure to visit blog.onlinevocalacademy.com. There you'll find all the videos that I've done on YouTube, but organized in singing tips or song tutorials or inspiring interviews, and even live covers as well. So you can check it out at blog.onlinevocalacademy.com. You can check out and search through all the different videos that I've done in the past. All right, in this episode, I wanted to share one of my favorite strategies for hitting high notes. So if you struggle with high notes and there are notes that you would love to be able to sing, then you can try this little technique that I often use with my students to help them hit notes that they didn't think they could hit before. So the strategy that I want to share with you today is something that I call marking. So if you are afraid of your high notes or you're struggling to hit some high notes, chances are when you're singing, if you know you're about to hit that high note, we may try to do things subconsciously in anticipation of it. For example, we might suddenly ramp up our volume in anticipation of that high note. Or we might start to tense up, kind of like we're bracing ourselves for that high note, getting ready for it. Or we might try to push and reach for that high note, thinking that that high note is really, really up there. So then we will try to use different muscles to try to reach and strain our voices to hit those high notes. Now, none of these scenarios are going to make those high notes any easier for us to hit. So instead, with this idea of marking, is what I like to do is get my students to experience the high note first, out of the context of the song. So, for example, if we are looking at the song I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston, don't make me close. That word close is fairly high. That's a C sharp 5. So it's a C sharp 5, which is the C above middle C. So what I would do is instead of having my students sing the whole phrase, I will actually encourage them to hit the high note first. Let's just go to that C sharp, get our body used to singing it, get comfortable with it before we jump back into the song. And 9 times out of 10, this works really, really well because it reinforces into our bodies that not only we can hit the note, but that we don't have to be afraid of it. When we're not afraid of those notes, we naturally relax into them and we trust ourselves and we trust our voices more. And this is really, really key. All right, so let me share with you how I would go about marking that high note. So that note, the word is close. So first of all, I may have my student sing the word close first on that note. So I may not hit that note right away. I might move them slowly. So let's try. Go a little bit lower. Close, close. So there's 2 things that I want you to become aware of if you're practicing at this at home. Number 1, do not be loud. Okay, we are not shouting, straining, or yelling these notes out. It's more like we're trying to find more of that speaking speech-like tone in a way that's relaxed and open. The second thing is space. Most of the time I find with students is that we don't optimally open up and use our vocal tract to its fullest capabilities. Okay, so when we're singing this word, close, not very spacious. Okay, so I want you to find close, ho. You see, I have to quite intentionally open up my back space here, the vocal tract, and really use more of my vocal tract when I'm singing. All right, so if you get comfortable with that, we can move up a little bit. Close, close. Now, if the word close is still challenging for you, then I would say get rid of the CL and go straight to the vowel. Oh! Or what might help is to do a little bit of a slide up. Oh, oh, and open up as we're moving up to the higher note. Another little tip for you is to not think up, but think down as we're approaching our high notes. Sometimes if we start to think in our head that the high notes are really physically quite high, we may subconsciously again try to reach up in anticipation of that high note. So instead of thinking of it as high, sometimes it's helpful to think of the notes as just right there, right? Not so far out of our reach. So again, one thing you could do is to direct your energy downwards instead of reaching up for that high note. Oh, oh, right? And make sure you're always breathing lower abdominally as well. We don't want to be breathing and straining from this area of our upper chest area. So then when we get that note, we only have one more semitone up to go. Oh, oh, see how we're slowly baby stepping our way up to that high note. Now, if the O is tricky for you, you may want to try a different vowel. We can try an eh. Eh, usually, sometimes people find it's a little bit easier. Eh, 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 eh. Remember two things, volume and space. Another little strategy that you could do that might help you is to use the word hey or hi. In this case, let's try hi. Hi, hi. And think of it as if you were really saying hello to somebody. Oh, hello, hi. Like you're surprised to see them. Hi, 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 hi. So to me, that starts to feel very, very comfortable. So when I start to hear that in the student, then I'll say, okay, well, we got the note. Let's transition that back into the song, which is close, right? So let's again review that. Hi, hi, close, close. Now the idea here is to trick ourselves into approaching and believing that that note is not beyond our ability to reach. It is just right there within our range. Oh, close, right? So we got that. Close is not, it's not loud. It's not overly loud. And also I'm creating a lot of space as I'm singing that too. Now the last step is of course putting it all together. Don't make me close. Now, if you're finding that you're starting to get stuck again, so for example, if you're going, don't make me, and you're getting a little stuck, what we want to do is go back to the exercise that we found helped us the most. In this case, let's go back to the word hi. Hi, 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 close. Then when we get it, we feel comfortable, we go back to the words. Close, close. Don't make me close one more door. So this is how we go back and forth, and we're training ourselves to build up that muscle memory. We are listening, we are feeling, and we're going about it intentionally. We're also baby stepping our way through the whole thing as well. And always, always remember, watch your volume and increase your space. Look at your space. Are you allowing optimum space for the sound to travel through, or are you getting stuck? And little third thing as well, remember to breathe low, lower abdominally. You don't want to be gasping for breath, breathing nice and low, drawing the breath in deep, so that you can avoid having any unnecessary tension here. The minute we start to breathe too shallow, we are already coming from a very tight and clenched space. All right, so that in a nutshell is what marking is. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope this was interesting and insightful for you. Now, if you would love a set of vocal exercises that can help you to start navigating your way through your entire range, be sure to check out my free vocal exercises at quiz.onlinevocalacademy.com. Answer 5 questions and you'll get an exercise routine that's tailored to you based on your answers. Until next time, bye-bye.